Hi everyone, this is CricketSong with Inner Wisdom, and today I wanted to take an opportunity to address a question or a topic that a viewer subscriber asked of me concerning animals and insects. Now, let me read you what this individual asked, and then we'll go through my thoughts on the whole topic. So the first question was, do insects and animals exist in the spiritual realm? And if so, what is their purpose? And this individual goes on to say that if animals and insects are beings of nature, and yes, they serve a specific purpose here on the physical, why would they exist on the spiritual realm? And they said, yes, it would be nice to think that one day I'd get to see my deceased pets again, but really, what is the purpose of that? So, and then they ask a question about people and reincarnating as animals and insects. But let's first address the first part of this. Now, I'm going to speak from my belief and my perspective, because that's the only perspective and belief I can really speak from. I look at spirit and deity as residing in everything. And everything here in nature and on the earth is a manifestation or an expression of part of that spirit. And animals and insects, because they are living beings, are expressions and manifestations of a part or an attribute or a characteristic of spirit. As everything that lives, everything dies that lives. It's the cycle of life. And in this physical plane of earth, each of us, or each living being, lives through a life experience. And all that experience that is gained from being on the physical plane is communicated to spirit and helps spirit or the universe or universal source grow and expand, because the life experience is seen and experienced through different perspectives. So my perspective of life here on earth is going to be very different than my dog Sophie or my cat Alchemy's perspective. But source energy, the universe, gains knowledge and understanding from all these different perspectives. Now, when we speak of the spirit realm, what I'm speaking of is a frequency that is achieved through the process of death or the process of rebirth into the next life experience. It is the astral plane. It is not here and not the next life experience. It's that transitional time, that transitional frequency. So everything that lives, I believe, goes through this transition and lives on the spiritual realm or the spirit dimension for a period of time before they either reconnect to the all, the universal source, or then is reborn into a new life experience. So I do believe that animals and insects do reside on the spirit realm because they were a living creature, a living being, a physical manifestation, and they have to work through this death process in order to return to source energy or to be reborn into a new life experience. The purpose of being a spirit or living or residing on the spirit realm is because you are moving through this death process. And that is the beings and the entities we experience on the spirit realm. Now, the other beings and entities that we experience on the spirit realm are those who have never manifested in physical form, but who choose to align themselves with that vibrational frequency in order to bring information to those of us in the physical realm who look to retrieve information. But I truly believe that generally, again, with the non-physical realm, there are many different vibrational frequencies. So when I'm speaking spirit realm, it really incorporates all non-physical vibrational frequencies. But what I think this person is asking is those spirit realms that we tend to communicate with when we do divination or when we do mediumship, when we're holding seances and we're speaking or meeting those who have died. I believe that those frequencies are denser and lower level frequencies than those frequencies of spiritual entities or non-physical entities that have never incarnated in physical form. And I feel like our pets would not be those entities. Though, you know, our pets or animals or insects that were physical manifestations reside on the lower, denser level because they're going through this death process. I hope that didn't get too complicated and you followed where I was going with that. Okay, so your dead pets, you know, my bandit who died a while ago, years ago, he would reside at some point on that spiritual realm, but after the death process is completed, he would no longer reside there and return to universal source or higher frequencies. So then the next question was, do people reincarnate as animals or insects? And they go on to say, if I hold the belief that spiritual beings are on this planet for a purpose of progressing and evolving spiritually through learned life lessons, what kind of lessons could a spirit possibly learn if they were in any other physical form than that was not human? Okay. If you believe that, then, you know, that's not what I believe. So it's hard for me to address the idea that a person would reincarnate into an animal or insect to learn a life lesson. If you are looking at reincarnation, you know, starting at a low-level being, physical manifestation, and moving through the hierarchy of I guess intelligence or however you are leveling up physical beings, then I don't know. I don't know why a human would want to incarnate. What lessons, I agree, I don't know what lessons could you learn. But that's not how I view reincarnation, and that's not how I view the reasons why we are in physical manifestations. I believe that each of us are in a physical manifestation to experience life, like I said, on the physical plane. And each living being has a different perspective. And we experience these perspectives to help the collective expand, learn, and grow. So the perspective I would have if I was a dog would be a different perspective than if I was human. And then maybe I want to learn or experience life as a butterfly or a mosquito. These are different perspectives. It's not to say one is a higher spiritual developed being than another. It's just a different perspective. So I would understand that I may want to incarnate as an animal or insect because I could get a different perspective if I incarnated as that. So then the next thing this individual says is, I think of the spiritual realm as not being like nature only because nature is a physical. Although there are those stories from people who have claimed to have died and gone to either a heaven or hell and then come back who've said they've seen trees and birds and animals and such, but I just wouldn't understand what the function of these creatures would be in a non-physical realm. So would you think they exist in the spirit realm? Again, like I explained, my belief of the spirit realm is different levels of frequencies, and when people die and then come back to life, you know, they had near-death experiences, I feel like they've just started the death process, and what they're experiencing is the spirit realm of the lower levels, because they haven't finished with the death process. Because really, if they finished with the death process, then they wouldn't have come back. So I do feel like the astral plane or the spiritual plane of existence that we experience at the beginning of our death process, it would be almost like a mirror-like image of what we have here on the physical. But as you proceed through the frequencies of the spiritual realm, they get less and less physical, and they become more and more energetic. And I believe that the higher beings that we make contact with in the non-spiritual, non-physical realm, the spiritual realm, are described as energies and auras, and they really don't have a body or a form like we here on the physical realm experience, because they are on a higher vibrational frequency. So I do feel like, trees and all these nature things that we experience here on the physical, we will experience in some aspect on the spiritual realm as we move through our death process, because we're moving from a very dense vibrational frequency through the frequencies to reach the highest level frequency, where things are not so concrete and they're more abstract. So that's my thoughts on animals, insects, reincarnation, and the non-physical or the spiritual realm. I hope this answered your questions. I hope it wasn't too convoluted and you could follow my thought process. I find that my concepts can be a little abstract lately. And as always, I love you. Mwah.